Here's a quick video on how to clean the flame sensor on your furnace. This is an important maintenance item to do, especially as that flame sensor gets caked on with carbon and carbon buildup each season after you use it. So I like to do this at least before every heating season, as well as at the end, if not the middle, just to make sure that the flame sensor is as clean as possible. That's what helps the process of heating to continue forward. That's one of the safety kind of precautions your system has. So it's a good idea to keep an eye on it, and I'll show you how to do that very quickly. This is all you're going to need for the job: a 15/16 nut driver and something to clean the flame sensor with, either steel wool or just an old bill. So let me show you how to do that. First thing we'll want to do is come over to the furnace and shut off the switch that powers the furnace. That way when we're working on it, nothing accidentally turns on. And now what we'll want to do is open up and get access to the flame sensor. So what we'll want to do is, some models might be different, but many of them you just pull up and then that top part will come sliding out. And then this next part down here, you'll just pull up, and that will give you access to the electronics within your furnace. Now there is this shut-off switch that when you take off the door, this will shut off the switch, but it's, in my opinion, safer just to go from the power to the actual furnace rather than relying on this door switch in case something's faulty. And now we can go down and access our flame sensor. So, as you might expect, it's right by the flames or the burners. So right here is the 3 burners. Yours might have 4. And underneath, if we go underneath here, you can see right there, this right here is our flame sensor. And it's held in by a 5/16 bolt. So I will go get my nut driver and we can take that off. 5/16. Now we'll just want to carefully remove that flame sensor. And what you can do is you can take off this wire that leads to the flame sensor by just pulling this away. I'll show you that after I get it out. But what we'll do is just grab that. You might need to finagle it around. And this is actually a good time that I will take off the wire here, just so nothing comes off. So let me put that down. And what I'll do is you just pull, just like that. And as you can see, there is our flame sensor. Alright, so we have the flame sensor here out. It's important not to touch the actual sensor here with your hands. You don't want to get the oils from your hands on that. It helps just preserve the life and prolong the life of the flame sensor if you don't touch it. So just keep your hands away from there. And what you can use is either some steel wool, the 4/0, so 4/0 steel wool, or you can even just use an old bill to clean off the grime of the flame sensor and clean off that carbon buildup. And you'll be able to feel a difference after you keep cleaning it. You'll feel it become less rough, but you can already start to see there's a difference there. It's old. This furnace is about almost 17 years old, so, and this is the original flame sensor, but as long as you are trying to continually keep an eye on it and clean it, this will help prolong the life of that flame sensor. Alright, so did a little bit more cleaning. It still looks kind of grayish, but again, it's 17 years old and still kicking. So yeah, you just want to keep cleaning it until you start to feel more smooth. Once it feels more smooth, and then once it's smooth, you're ready to put it back in. Okay, now what I'll do is I'll put the flame sensor in through the hole first. So get that in. And there's only one way to put it back in, so don't worry about making sure it goes in the right direction. As you can see, there's only that one screw, so that'll orient it in the right direction. So now that that's in, I'll put the screw in. And then you can just push on that connector. And that is how you clean your flame sensor on your furnace. And I'll try and give you a better visual here of what is going on. But basically how the flame sensor works is obviously it senses the flames like I had mentioned before. Here's the underneath profile of the furnace. So as you can see, the flame sensor is right there. And as the flames come on from the furnace and out through the burner up here, the flame sensor detects that flame coming out of the burner and kind of gives feedback to the furnace, letting it know that your furnace is functioning properly. Furnaces have become a lot more safe over time just to make sure that the process is working okay. And the flame sensor is one of those ways that the system monitors that everything is functioning normally. So that is sometimes why cleaning your flame sensor will help your furnace start working again in case it starts up and then shuts off. That's one of those safety mechanisms that are built in place to ensure that your furnace is working properly. So if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. Like and subscribe, and I'll check out my other videos. I'll link some in the description box below as well as in the card. Now we can put back on the doors. So rock the bottom one in like that. Bottom door in. Rock the top door in. Make sure everything's flush. And then turn on. And you should hear that click. That will indicate that the furnace is aware that all the doors are closed and that the safety switch is unengaged, if you will. And that is how you clean the flame sensor on your furnace.